Yep. Salute to the subscribers. Back with another episode. Eyeball Network Podcast, episode 101. We appreciate all the subscribers. We got 12,000 plus subscribers on YouTube and 50K on Facebook. So we appreciate all of y'all. And 12K plus on Instagram, I think. And almost 8K on TikTok. So appreciate all the love, man. We will be going live soon. So y'all make sure y'all tap in with us when we're going live, for the playoffs and all of that. Apologize for the hiatus, man. We had catastrophic events, so we just had to take a much needed break. So, but we back at it, man, and we appreciate y'all for the patience and all of that. And I'm your host, Jay Meeks. I got my guys in the building as always. And the guy Scoop, what's good, Scoop?
Hey, what it do, man? Eyeball Network, you already know what it is. You ain't gotta like it, but you gotta respect it, man.
Yes, sir. Got my guy Mace in the building. What's good, my guy?
Going on, my guy. We back at it.
Simple. All right, well, let's get to it, man. We got a bunch of stuff to get into. First thing we'll talk about, since we only got about 10 games left, depending on what team we're talking about. But yeah, let's talk about who we choosing for MVP. This is a weird year for MVP. There's a lot of different names being thrown out there. So I'm interested to see who y'all thinking is the MVP. Because I mean, whoever you got right now is the ballot is gonna be in soon. So who you got, Mace? Who's your MVP, man?
Actually, I got Luka as the MVP. My reasoning is different than probably most people be. Because if you've got Shea as your MVP, then I don't know. I'm not being funny. I don't understand how he's going to get it other than just his team and being liked. And if that's the deal, then we have to redefine what MVP is about, because MVP isn't supposed to be a team award. It's an individual award. You're the most valuable player. So by every metric you can measure, Luka is better than Shea. Not being funny, he averages more points, he averages more rebounds, he averages more assists. And here's the funny part, he averages more steals. Like, I need to let that sink in. Luka, who plays no defense, averages more steals than SGA. That's crazy to even say out loud. So for me, I'm picking.
Though.
I know what I'm saying, but just in general. But if you think about their team, just in general, Luka shouldn't be getting any steals whatsoever. While you've got SGA, who's got Chet back there, and he's got, you know what I'm saying, the young guns on the wing who are doing a lot of, you know what I'm saying, on-ball guarding. So for me, I'm picking Luka, not necessarily just because I believe he's better than Wemby or he's better than Jokic. But if you're going to say general consensus is SGA is the MVP, well, then by what measure are you measuring? Because Luka literally has eclipsed him in every single statistical category that we're talking about: points, rebounds, assists, and steal. So is the MVP an individual award or is it a team award? Which is what you used to say, Meeks, back in the day. It's the popularity contest. You can't put much in it because when you look at the stats, you're going to go, oh, Shea's the MVP. How? He averaged 31. Luka averaged 34. He averaged six rebounds. He averaged 8. He averaged 6 assists. He averaged 8 assists. You know what I'm saying? By every measure you're choosing, Luka has more than he does. So that's my choice for it, because there's no way personally I can choose him, because I've always seen MVP as an individual award, which is why the year we talk about how Steve Nash won it, it was like, how? Like, there's nothing that you did that was better than Shaq when you won it. There's nothing you did that was better when Kobe should have won. So for me, I'm always going to pick the guy who has the better stats, because it makes you more valuable in every measure to me. So that's why. And it's not a popularity contest. It's about what stats you put up on the board for me.
Well, just to play devil's advocate before you go, Screw, SGA and the Thunder won 11 more games so far than the Lakers. Lost 10 less games than the Lakers.
Agreed.
So, but to your point, though, like I said, it never made sense, man. The MVP trophies, if we go down the list of people and you just look at the names and then think about the season that they had, it doesn't. None of them will add up to what the other one was. They're not going to be similar in many ways. because there's never been a real criteria. Like I always say, if Steve Nash won it, then that means you were only going off of best record and best player on the best, and he wasn't even arguably the best player on that team. Amari Stoudemire was better than him, but so they just want to give it, like I said, you got to call it a popularity contest because what other real criteria are they giving it for? But I'll say who I think will who I want to win it, but I think they will give it to SGA because of the record, and if you look at the advanced analytics, he does have Luka beat in a lot of those analytics. So if you look at the plain paper, yes, Luka has put up better numbers, but they both were missing players, and they both got a decent roster, so. But I respect that pick though. Like I definitely think Luka is should get a lot more love in the MVP conversation. But I guarantee he probably doesn't even get top two
No.
pick this year. But how you feel, Scoob? Who you got?
So I definitely do not have SGA. This every day is getting harder and harder for me to watch OKC as a whole. But that's another story for another day. But as of right now, I got Wemby as my personal favorite for MVP. His season San Antonio was 22-60. His sophomore season they were 34-48, and now they're currently 54-18, second overall in the West. And Wemby got every bit of reason for San Antonio's success. I mean, they've been locking in on D. Buddy, what's his name?
Castle.
Yeah, he been locking shit up. I mean, their nickname is literally Area 51. Wemby's averaging like 25, 12, and 5, some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Decent numbers, not nothing to call home about. But in the system that they play in, man, Wemby, he's really coming into his own. He's really having an impact on the shots that people take and decide not to take on offense. There's been times where he's been 2 feet in the paint and somebody could be wide open on the 3 and they see him coming and they change everything. You know what I'm saying? So I love seeing the impact that Wemby's having this early in his career. And even if he doesn't get it this year, if he continues to lock in and get stronger and get better, you know what I'm saying? If not this year, maybe next year. But my personal favorite, I got Wemby.
Okay, yeah, I respect that. I like that pick also. Yeah, Wemby's gonna win a few MVPs when it's all said and done. He's definitely the defensive player of the year this year, no question. Nobody else is even close. So if he doesn't win it's crazy. But he's gonna win it this year, and he's probably literally gonna have 10 DPOYs if he stays healthy, which is a huge, huge if, because we've never seen nobody that size stay healthy for a long period of time. It's just pretty impossible. The human body wasn't even made to play basketball at this level and running this hard for that long and bumping against bodies and stuff like that for 10 plus years. The human body wasn't made to do stuff like that already. And then take into account this guy's 7'5", like it's just not gonna last. Like, and he plays like a guard. So if Wemby doesn't calm it down and slow it down, but which I don't want to see him do it because it's like he's like a huge 7'5" Russell Westbrook. Like his motor, as far as his motor and his effort. So I love to watch it. Like he's probably my favorite player to watch now because of how he covers so much ground and he just does so much for his team and he cares so much. Like he's just a great player to watch. But I don't think he's the MVP this year, but I do understand why you got him as the MVP because they're number 2 in the West. And we expected them to be good, but nobody expected them to be right behind the Thunder, chasing behind the Thunder like that. And it's pretty much a team effort. Everybody's playing well and contributing to it. They got a really good team, but Wemby is the anchor and the backbone to the whole team. So he's definitely an MVP candidate. Both of them, Luka and Wemby, I would say, should be in the top 3. But the person I chose was Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown, we all know what he did this year. He had a really good year. Boston is number 2 in the East, 47-24. and Tatum's been back a few games now, and just now getting back acclimated. And the Celtics overall have been playing good, all of them. So just like the Spurs, so I'm not gonna give it all the credit to Jalen, but he's been doing his thing. He showed that he can do the unthinkable because literally nobody expected Boston to do anything this year. Even though we know the East was trash, we still expected them to be a lottery team this year with no Jason Tatum.
Facts.
So they're not going to give him the MVP. I can say it now. Like I don't. This is we're not that type of podcast that's just gonna pick the guys who y'all expect us to pick or everybody else is gonna pick. So I'm glad we all chose three different people but I don't think none of our guys are gonna win. They're gonna give it to SGA because they want a foreign guy to win each year. So as soon as they stop giving it to SGA, then it's gonna be time for Wemby to win,
I said, hell,
or
all the
Luca,
top candidates is
or
foreign.
Luca. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's time. Luca's time is coming. If Luca would have been playing like this and didn't have that little gap in the middle, because the Lakers was playing trash for a good period of time, so I think that's why Luca won't get as much love. Also, even though they've been killing as of late, even though they just lost to the Pistons tonight, but Luca's been going on a tear, and yeah, so I like both of y'all's picks, man, but I don't think none of our guys are gonna win it. And
I think Jalen Brown. Honestly, that's a great pick. I'm being funny. Like everything about that pick, I would actually respect more than SGA. Like I said, if you're going to go there, this, like you said, if we're going off of that, we expected the Thunder to do what they're doing. No one expected that to happen, and Jalen Brown put that team on his back.
yep.
Like so, I gotta respect the Jalen Brown pick real high. That's a solid pick, man.
Yeah, and he's still guarding the team's best player and shouldering the offensive load at the same time, man. That
Mm-hmm.
don't get enough love in this league, bro. And Ant-Man should get some MVP love as well
Mm-hmm.
because he plays both sides of the ball. And people just don't understand how much energy that takes, man. I gotta respect how much energy it takes to lock down or at least try to guard the best player on the other team every night. And then you're also the focal point on the offense every night, be a double and triple team. And then you got to guard, run around with Steph Curry and guarding Kevin Durant and like just all of the best people in the world. It's tough, bro. Got to give love to that. So my MVP is usually going to be somebody who's playing both sides of the ball, or the best player. My favorite players usually play both sides of the ball.
I agree with both of you guys' picks for MVP over mine, legitimately, because in all actuality, you guys pick people who play both sides of the ball, and we are big on that on eyeball. Like I told you, the reason I chose Luca is because I said if you're going to choose SGA, well, damn it, you better choose Luca from a metric standpoint. But the MVP award is supposed to be, like you said, not the most valuable team, the most valuable player. And both of you guys, as guys, are playing both sides of the ball and literally affecting the game's outcome. Whereas SGA is kind of like foul baiting and putting up numbers and getting bailed out by his team. So
Yeah.
I like your guys' pick better than mine. Like I said, mine was just because on paper it looked better than him. So how are we giving it to him? So both sides of the ball definitely get way more respect for me.
Yeah, and
But
Luca's
but but
one
I
of those
like
guys.
Luca
Go
too,
ahead.
though.
Yeah, I'm
I
about to
like
say
Luca
Luca's one of
too
those guys that's so
because
good offensively.
if you're gonna use SGA as the ruler, then Luca arguably is like, okay, well, let's put him side by side with Luca, who's having a better year. You know what I'm saying? OKC is going to have the spotlight on them because they are still currently the defending champions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's getting so hard to watch SGA hoop, bro. And I'm like, if it came down to it, nigga, I'm putting all my money on Luca. Like Jesus Christ, because I'm like, I mean, we all know Luca is a damn Space Jam Monstar talent. He literally got sent to LA to be LeBron's replacement to hold up the franchise after he parts ways with the NBA. And he's still doing now what he's been doing since he was 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? Out there playing at his own pace and making it look easy. And it's like you could see the shots that he's gonna take and the moves that he's gonna make from a mile away, and you still can't stop him.
SGA is the same way, but I don't like the flopping either, though. So I'll give you that. Like, that's the one thing I can't vouch for. I wish he would stop that. But that's how we felt about James Harden, and I know you're a Rockets fan, Scoob, and
And
everybody
and and
hated.
look,
He fathered SGA doing this shit, bro.
he
He's the
did,
reason why.
and even as the resident Rockets fan, even when we had prime Mohawk Harden, I couldn't stand it then. I only tolerated it because you know what I'm saying he was hooping for the home team. But even then, like I couldn't stand that shit, bro.
What I will say, no defense to Harden whatsoever, because they both did it. Harden's isn't as egregious as SGA's. Like if you Harden at least
I don't
at
know.
times. No, I'm saying it's like there's times where Harden actually did get touched. It was weak, but he got touched. There's videos of FGA not even getting touched, bro. Like he
Yeah,
was
that's
literally
right.
he's on the floor before he gets touched. Whereas Harden's fouls were weak. They were on the arm. SGA literally won't get touched. He'll do that right there, then fall down. And it's like, bro, literally no one touched you. Like
Yeah,
literally.
Bro,
Harden. That's why I say he fathered it because he
Yeah.
didn't do it as much as SGA does that shit every play, pretty damn much. And then, but James Harden, his thing was, remember, he used to grab people's arms
Oh
and
yeah.
he
Oh
used
yeah.
to scoop your arm underneath his arm and act like they was locked
That's
together.
a
And
fact.
he used to do all type of weird shit, or especially when y'all get on the ground together, he would do some weird stuff. So James Harden just he made it cool
or
for this foul
the
baiting, for the
the rip
manipulating the
throughs on the
refs.
face up.
Yeah, you manipulating the refs, bro. He made it. He's the god of doing that, bro. So
So this is the perfect segue then.
let's do it.
We already here. This is the perfect segue.
Okay, let's get to it. So who's the better player, Prime, SGA, or Harden? Go ahead, Scoop.
I got prime Harden, man. I got prime Mohawk Harden, man.
But why? He ain't win nothing though.
He didn't,
So
but
he can't be
and
better
and
than a nigga
he
who did the same shit as him, but won.
and you know what? That's an argument that is going to be had until the Earth stops rotating the sun because there's a lot of different people who you can place in this argument where people think this player is better than this player, even though this player got jewelry and this player don't. Now, if I'm just going off of eye test, who would I rather watch hoop is gonna be Harden.
Harden is the inflation god too. So I don't want to see him. I don't like Harden like that because he's the one who we gonna remember who inflated this whole era. He was one of the ones inflating the stats, the most doing that Mike D'Antoni shit. And then now that's how everybody plays. So and then the pace of the game literally went up because James Harden and Houston's that team. So everybody mimicked that. After they mimicked, the Warriors and the Suns also. But
Okay.
that James Harden was literally checking the ball up and running full speed up the court, and they were shooting the ball in 7 seconds or less, pretty much almost every possession. So I'm
I think
just
you had it
saying,
right the first time with the Suns. It was Steve Nash and D'Antoni who started that crap, that
yeah.
fast paced ball up
That
seven
But then
seconds.
Mike
7 second
D'Antoni went and
offense.
coached Houston and told
Yeah.
James to do the same shit, and
Oh
he's
no,
faster and more
absolutely.
athletic than Steve.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, but what I'm saying is, I gotta respect SGA more though because it's the substance behind their careers belongs to SGA because Harden did a bunch of nothing in a lot of time. He did a bunch of shooting and inflating his numbers and getting triple doubles, but he didn't win anything. And he had good enough teams multiple times to win something at least once. So, and SGA I can't say the same about him. He's had a really good young team that he has now, and he's spearheaded the whole joint. So I can't. It's not the same, bro. So if you're talking about numbers and we doing this, we talking numbers and we just close our eyes and gotta. And if I'm looking at the stat sheets, then I'm gonna pick Harden, of course. And he won the MVP. SGA's MVP was probably more potent too to me. I don't know, bro. So I just give SGA the edge. It's a debate. I'm not gonna act like he's just crushing Harden because Harden definitely had more successful individual seasons than he did, and SGA has not been unequivocally. Neither of them was like the best player in the league at all. Not one time, but they had a good enough season where we had to be like, hey, but bro, having a and maybe SGA was the best player in the league. I feel like him and Jokic have been back and forth about it for the last couple of years. So it's about opinionated, but I don't think that SGA has been clearly the best player, and neither was Harden. He just
Mhm.
won the MVP because he was putting up the crazy numbers.
And the
But
thing about it is, I like SGA. I think his game is hella smooth. I love how he prioritizes the mid range and getting to the bucket more than shooting the long ball. Like SGA's game is smooth as
he
hell.
can't be stopped on an ISO
He
1-on-1, bro. He's
can't,
too
but
quick going left to right.
so it's like, nigga, you don't have to do all this foul hunting and all this egregious flopping and doing the Lou Dort, kicking your leg out. Like, you don't have to do all that. Like, you can cook niggas legit.
That's how I felt about Harden. He was way bigger than all the shooting guards, and he had a better 3-pointer than most dudes other than Steph and Clay and them. And he was still doing all the goofy shit. But how you feel, Mace? Who you got?
For me personally, it's not even close. It's Harden, like by a long shot. Like I don't think SGA can. I don't even think we should talk about SGA in the same sentence as James Harden. Respectfully, I like SGA, but we got to remember. I'm like I said. We're talking about prime. I'm just talking numbers. I'm not talking success. Just numbers. Just numbers. SGA couldn't do what Harden did in his sleep. We got to remember there was a month where Harden had multiple 50 and 60-point games. He averaged 40 points for a month. Like SGA can't do that. Like, I'm not being disrespectful. Maybe he can, but to the degree that James Harden did. Remember, even to the point we called it out, but there was a bunch of goofy people going, "Oh, James Harden was better than Kobe for the month." No one's ever said that about SGA, like ever in history. So the fact that I have Kobe as my GOAT, and at some point there was a guy who people could say, well, Kobe had a whole month of 40, James had a whole month of 40. We've never said that about SGA. And then you're absolutely right. James Harden fathered that goofy stuff. I don't want to hear none of that. But when we really stop and think, James Harden's 3-ball is nasty compared to SGA's. SGA can't do that. Like, James Harden will drain that hole on you, bro. Like,
James ain't got no mid range either, though.
No, I agree. But that's
and he
what I'm saying.
can't play off the ball for nothing. Can't
Yeah,
catch
That's
and
the
shoot.
trade-off.
But here's the thing. Like I said, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about ball in hand. How we always talk about if you give members group, if you give AI a ball and you give this person a ball, can this that's what I'm saying.
But what you asking him to do? If I give James a ball, I know he's gonna cook everybody. But if I give SGA a ball, he gonna get a W.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about success. I'm talking about just straight hooping. If you put both of them in a singular cage on a court, and
SGA getting cooked for
that's
sure.
what I'm saying. So that's why I'm choosing Harden from that standpoint, because Harden can do.
But Harden's getting cooked too, dogs, on the other end.
Absolutely. But I'm more believing that SGA is going to foul hunt that, and when he don't get it, James Harden goes splash on him in the corner. Pause.
If we talk, maybe because if you talk about they weight difference, then if they talk about if we talk about they playing 1-on-1 against each other, then we're having a different conversation. Then I'm
that's
with
what I'm
you.
talking about.
Okay. All right, so yeah, we talking about prime. Who's better in their prime? But it's still Harden. Is to your point.
That's what I'm saying.
Harden's a cone on defense though, so I gotta take that into effect. Like SGA is gonna play good defense on him, even though he's got a real big size advantage on him weight wise. So he will body SGA up.
Yeah,
but on the other end, SGA is gonna get a bucket on him because James Harden's just gonna let him go by so he can get into his next bucket.
You know what's funny? I feel you, but I feel like SGA is gonna have a clear path and go like
ain't no refs in 1-on-1 for him to flop.
He's gonna look back like, oh, wait a minute.
It's gonna be a battle of the flops. The game never gonna end, nigga.
Exactly.
Never, bro.
But nah, like I said, but on that note, like I said, I was just thinking 1-on-1, but like I said, from a standpoint of prime in the game, oh no, it's SGA. But for my thinking, like I said, I was thinking if we put them both in the eyeball league, you know what I'm saying, coming soon. If we put them both in the eyeball league and put a basketball in both their hands in the prime, I don't want to. That's Harden's one of them dudes you don't like, but he's one of them dudes like you better hope he miss. Because if he doesn't miss, yeah, bro, he gonna put you out 11-0 if he doesn't miss. You better hope he misses.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And SGA is more of a dog than Harden. So if in 1-on-1, the dog usually gonna win that bitch. You know what I'm saying? So, but like you said, if a nigga get hot, he get hot, and he's shooting threes versus twos. So
step back threes, sidestep threes.
Yeah.
And I hated it so much, but I know y'all remember like 2019, bro, he couldn't miss a step back three to save his life, bro.
Nah, he
Like
couldn't.
that fool
It was
couldn't miss,
green.
Nigga
bro.
was hitting and 1 threes like it was nothing.
Green in them shits.
Yeah, bro, he was just stepping back, arm pulled, you pulling his mohawk, and shit was going in. He was looking like, yeah, it was
But
wild,
bro,
bro.
when I watch SGA now the last 2 years though, bro, like 1-on-1, the nigga is barbecue chicken on everybody's barbecue chicken versus him, bro.
Yeah, true.
The man is too crafty, and his jumper
Can't
is that
nobody
his
stay in
mid
front of
range
him.
is that much on point that no
Oh
matter
yeah.
what, he's almost always having a good night from the midi, bro. Like, and he's not athletic. Like, so like it's crazy, bro. Like he really came from the studied the Kobe cloth, you know what I'm saying, and learned from Kawhi Leonard and
Yeah.
MJ, Kobe. He really learned from them dudes, bro, because you could see that, you know, if minus the flops, the nigga is legitimate. You know what I'm
But like
saying?
that's what you said though, bro. That I think that's the part that makes me take points from him because he doesn't got to do that. Like there's you do not have to do everything about your game is. And what's weird is he'll beat the defender and have him on his side and have the ball here and still go like that. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
you've already got him beat. You're 2 steps on
Yeah.
him with the
When
ball.
he do that
Why
shit,
you
I be mad as fuck. So I'm like, man, this is what you giving niggas
Yeah,
the
bro, it's
ammo.
stupid. That's dumb, bro. I hate that. Like, yeah, man.
Get your last thoughts off, man. We can slide to the next topic. This is still
I foul hunt, cuz just hoop.
Yeah.
for real. In real life, I don't. Only in the NBA can you do shit like this. We gotta stop the foul hunting, the carrying, and the traveling. Is the three things that I can't. I hate watching about the NBA right now, and like it's very bad to watch, bro. I don't like the step through the 5 foot step throughs and the carrying on every joint and just literally just walking around doing this slowly, just carrying the ball from this place to the
Manipulating the
next
gather
the
step.
whole time up the court. Like that shit looks goofy, bro. But
Yeah, bro. The problem with it is, and we being basketball peers, they're trying to find new ways to bend the rules and cheat the game and still score. It's like, bruh, just play. If you gotta say, okay, if I jump, then step, and then gather, that's not, bro. If you gotta do all that, bro, it's a travel to me. Like, you gotta like stop and pause and figure out if this is a travel. Don't do it, bro, because y'all doing too much trying to find ways to get around this instead of just playing basketball, bro.
Giannis will grab a rebound, 2 dribbles, and this nigga's from one basket to the other.
oh god,
That's
2,
crazy.
3
And
dribbles. This
as much
man
as I
dunking the
love
ball.
Giannis, bro, I can't stand that shit, bro.
Bounce
Jalen
five,
Brunson
bounce.
carry every time. Jason Tatum, Luca,
Oh
LeBron,
yeah, Luca carried like a
all of them
monster.
be carrying and traveling every damn time, bro. That shit is annoying to watch, dog. What I was about to say though, damn, I forgot. But yeah, I just don't like watching the bullshit, man. But in the playoffs, all that shit gonna come to a rest. Finally, we can just see some real basketball again. They have to play defense. They have to care. Everybody has to show up. Like shit that we don't have to worry about. Shit we have to worry about in the regular season, we don't have to worry about no more. So I'm ready for the playoffs. It's about to be lit, and every round is gonna be decent. And I will say before we get into this next topic, though, the Lakers at the 3 seed right now. Right now, Houston is at the 6, half a game up on Minnesota. So it'd be Houston or Minnesota going at that 6 seed.
It's probably going to end up being us.
Yeah, Houston's probably.
I think the Lakers in trouble against both of those teams for real.
Minnesota, yeah, Houston, I don't think so.
But one thing I do want to say about the Lakers, so we'll just talk about the Lakers real quick. The next topic is, do the Lakers have a real chance to win the championship? And the Lakers just they have a better roster than everybody gives credit to. They've always had a good roster. They just wasn't putting it together correctly. And I think they've been having problems with, it's the elephant in the room that LeBron, LeBron wasn't there at first and they were playing great. And then he showed up and then the team got mediocre/bad. And then they found themselves a little bit once LeBron embraced being a third option. So if we're being real, the Lakers, it's just hard to judge them because They got two white guys. No disrespect to nobody, but hey, let me get this out too. This is not the topic, but LeBron can never be compared to Kobe and Jordan because he got two unathletic white guys playing in front of him in a Laker jersey, and that would never have happened in Kobe or Mike's career ever. Will they be playing behind two unathletic white guys? One guy was undrafted, and the other guy's not even from here. So salute to Austin and Luka because both of them are fire and having great years. But I'm just saying, the great LeBron James is playing third option. He had two 12-point games in a row too, by the way, behind Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic, bro. So I don't want to hear nothing else about the GOAT conversation, man. I had to get that off real quick. Sorry if I just triggered y'all. But and so Lakers have a good team though. DeAndre Ayton, Austin Reeves, Luka, LeBron, Marcus Smart. They got a dope roster from top to bottom. And they've always should have had a contending team since this team was created. But everybody was using all these excuses, and this team was not built for Luka. It was only built for LeBron, and blah, 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 blah. If we look at the players, they got really good players, top to bottom. All-stars, champions, made men on the team. So I just feel like the Lakers have always should have been looked at as a contender. We're looking at the Spurs as a contender all year, all of a sudden. But we're supposed to not look at the team with Luka and LeBron and Austin Reeves and DeAndre Ayton on it, and they're not supposed to be a contender. So I do think the Lakers should be looked at as a contender. If they're not on OKC's level, obviously, because they're a proven championship team. But the Spurs, they're on the same level as the Spurs, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, the Rockets. Now, are they going to beat these teams? The Clippers. These are all teams on the same level to me.
Kawhi been playing out of his mind.
Now, the Spurs are above, on a higher level than the rest of them. I'll give them credit for that. But I'm just saying the Spurs haven't proven anything either. Spurs can get in the playoffs and lose to the Rockets. You know what I'm saying? They could lose to anybody. You know, it could happen. I haven't seen it. Timberwolves beat the Lakers at the 6th seed last year in 5 games. So I'll let y'all get your shit off, man. I think the Lakers should be considered a contender. And I think if they play against any team other than OKC, they have a legit chance to win. But I don't trust their defense, though. Their offense is legitimate at times, but they have no defense. Go ahead. How you feel?
As the resident Rockets fan, there have been years and years and years and years and years where we have had a better roster than the Lakers, and we still couldn't beat them. Like, for some reason, the Lakers have always had our number, even back when Kobe had like the most egregious roster that's ever been assembled. Like, even with prime Mohawk Harden, we still could not beat these niggas, bro. I don't know what it is, but as it pertains to right here, right now, today, because we all saw that when Ayton first got there, he was looking like junior varsity. The nigga was just lost. You know what I'm saying? So, and now the random conversations in the corner are saying, well, if you give, they're saying it's reflective of JJ Redick's coaching, whether they win or lose, because to have a roster of that magnitude and you're not maximizing on who you have, people are looking at the coaching staff. Because you take any other coach, whether you like them or not, and give them the same roster, whether it be the Lakers or any other team, you give them same core 6-7 names, oh, they making shit shake. So what's really the problem? Is it the chemistry on the floor? Is it the locker room? Or is it what we all believe, that success comes from the top? Does this fall on JJ Redick? Does this fall on the people in the front office? Like, what's the issue? I mean, on paper, they're absolutely a championship contender. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to the 3rd seed in the West just by lollygagging and just getting by. You know what I'm saying? So they've definitely made a playoff push that some people probably didn't expect them to be the 3rd seed. But I mean, you goddamn right, the Lakers are contenders. They just got to get their shit together.
How you feel, Mace? Facts.
The Lakers I don't believe they have a chance to win a championship. Should they be contenders? Absolutely so. Like you said, there's no way you should have even hated them LeBron, Luca, and Austin Reeves on the same team, and you're not a contender. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like you have the personnel, you DeAndre Ayton finally figured it out. Like he said, he looked in the mirror and said, "I'm not that guy. I'm gonna run the floor. I'm gonna get these rebounds, and
I'm not Clint Capella."
Yeah, ever since this is true. Ever since he decided to act like Clint Capella, they've gotten better. So you have your athletic big, let's call it that. You have your franchise guard. You have your A-list player. He has a sidekick, and you have a third option. Most teams don't have all that in one. So there's no reason why you have a franchise player who's MVP caliber, a secondary option who is a solid B plus player, which is Austin Reeves. They got LeBron James, even as a third option, should still be giving you at least 12 and like I said, 12 points a game and 12 and 5. And then you got DeAndre Ayton coming off the 12 and 10. But that's what are we doing here? Like your bench can't give you another 25 a game to get this over the hump. Like I'm just saying, like that's stuff you got to take into account. They're on that second tier. The only way the Lakers I feel like they'll get there is they've got to have the right matchups to make it there. Like they've got to avoid certain teams to try to pull it out their butt. But if they got to run through OKC before the finals and all that, yeah, they're going home. I'm with you. I think the Timberwolves will send them home. I'm not sure about the Rockets only because they don't have a point guard. And on top of that, not being foul, once you double Kevin Durant in the fourth quarter, they kind of don't exist. I'm not being foul. You can look at statistically. Kevin Durant is your offense. If Kevin Durant is double teamed in the fourth quarter, or he's forced to give the ball up in the last 5 minutes, you can look at statistical, look it up. They fold. They just have nothing outside of Kevin Durant in the fourth quarter. So you don't want to be in the fourth quarter. And unfortunately, looking at the Lakers, they're one of those teams where, like, if they're down by less than 10 with 5 minutes to go, yeah, Luka about to do something. They got Austin Reeves. Whereas I don't like that for the Rockets. So Rockets kind of got to put you out your misery early. If you get to the fourth and it's within let's say five possessions, I don't like the Rockets relying only on Kevin Durant in the playoffs and a half court situation. That's just me.
Yeah, I agree. Sengun was out when they was doubling up on
That's true.
Durant and
That is true.
And shit. Like he had nobody else that was stepping up offensively. But I do agree. That's the only team that I think the Lakers have the best chance against is the Rockets.
That's it.
If they play against the Suns, they're gonna beat the Suns. But the Clippers, the Clippers are not a good matchup for the Lakers, and neither are the Nuggets or the Timberwolves. And the Spurs and the Thunder will definitely beat the Lakers if you ask me if they come to play. Yep. But I don't trust the Spurs until I've seen them win something, bro. I just can't. Like, and Wemby is great, but Wemby has to go to the bench, and they're not a great team when Wemby's not playing. You know, they become a lot more regular, obviously, because you don't have an alien out there. So, yeah. So we pretty much agree on that. The Lakers are, consider a second tier contender.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you really think about it, bro, the only contenders are on the West. So what are we talking about? There's no contenders there. You got to be a contender. It's OKC, the Spurs, the Pistons are not contenders. The Celtics are, or I guess you want to consider. They're not a contender, bro. Tatum is half. He's on one leg for real. He's gonna get himself up to speed, but he's not gonna be ready to be going full speed ahead. He's gonna be being very careful through the playoffs. If I have to guess,
Detroit without Cade, it's like,
yeah, come on, bro. They only going so far out the first round, pretty much.
The top five seeds in the West. If any of them make the playoff, if any of them make the NBA championship, they're going to win the title. Whereas on the East, you can look at anybody and go, I don't care who's going to get there. You're probably going home in 5. That's it.
I could say 6 out of the top 8 seeds in the West could win.
Yeah, I give you that. It's just not. It's unfair. Like there's nothing. The thing that you can do is hope the West beats up on each other, and then someone's injured or too tired. But strength to strength, there's nobody like you said in the top 6 on the East who can touch them. The number 1 seed in the East cannot beat the top 6 seeds in the West in a 7-game series. It's not happening.
Cleveland, New York, and the Celtics are the only teams left on the East that have a chance to do something, and nobody's worried about them. Nobody's scared of them, bro. OKC gonna have their way with them. Spurs will have their way with them. Even the Lakers, if they made it to the finals, they would beat up.
Oh yeah, they'll have their way with all of them.
Nuggets beat up on them. Timberwolves, Ant-Man will get a championship. Whoever come out the West is getting a championship this year, man. I'll be
on
shocked
that
if it don't
note,
happen.
do we need the expansion for more balance in the league?
That's a tough thing for me, man. I see both.
Or we need to let that sizzle and touch on that on the next one.
You know the problem with that though, both of the teams demographically would be on the West.
Whether it's Vegas or Seattle.
You feel me? If it's Vegas or Seattle, they'd be in the West. So you'd still be in trouble because both. So how are you going to mix that up? Because you can't be like the Lakers are in the West, but Vegas is in the East, but they're a sharing state. That doesn't make any sense.
Remember, the Grizzlies will go to the East, so then it will be. You have
to mix that kind of stuff up. Otherwise, your two expansion teams, they're both on the West Coast. So what are we doing?
So then you got to move two teams, which is probably going to be Minnesota and Memphis.
Yeah, that's correct. Actually, yeah.
So you put Ja Morant and Ant-Man in the East, even though I don't know how much longer Ja can be in Memphis, but I mean, it's a shot in the dark. But something got to.
Actually, wouldn't you put New Orleans in the East too, right?
Yeah, with New Orleans would have to go to the East, and Memphis would have to go to the East, and then they would add two teams to the West.
Yeah, they'd have to do that. Yeah.
So that wouldn't change anything, though. I mean,
because both teams ain't good enough to win in the West.
Yeah, like we just said, we only got 3 good teams. We got 3 contending teams in the damn whole NBA for the most part. So that means there's 30 teams that's not 29 teams that is not. I don't know. I don't think you should add 2 more teams if we already got 28 trash ones, or not trash, but we got like 14 trash teams. Yeah. And I don't think you should add more teams, bro. But obviously they're trying to add more revenue.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna add more teams, it's one of our other topics, but we can combine the two. Mm-hmm. If you're gonna add more teams, shorten the season, man, because you just get to the playoffs, because only a certain amount of teams can make the playoffs, and the playoff format needs to be changed now anyway, because look, once again, the East is incompetent. So what's the point of all the Western Conference teams beating up on each other just to play against a sorry-ass team on the East? That we're not getting the real champion. We'll get the real champion if the first round was OKC versus damn San Antonio, and the Lakers versus the Nuggets, and then the Timberwolves versus the Rockets. Like, that should be the first rounds, and then we'll get the real champions.
I know how to make it work. Real talk. Other than just having an old school giant redraft, which they're not going to do, here's how you make this work. And this is factual. This is how you make this work. First things first, you got to do. I don't want to hear there's not enough good players to add 2 more teams. Yes, there is. The problem is, if you look at the roster, a lot of these fools play on the same team. I'm not being foul. They really do. Like, look at the Lakers. They have 3 players who are number 1 options on some of the weaker teams we're talking about. Not being funny, look at the OKC. They legitimately have 3 options who can play somewhere else. Like, it's the truth. Even looking at the 76ers, they have Maxey. They got one.
No,
what I'm saying is, if you look at them as a whole,
I know what you're saying.
I'm talking about just on paper. On paper, you've got 3 guys who legitimately can average, who at some point can put up 30 points a game or can be a number 1 option. Paul George did it before. Maxey's doing it now, and B's doing it, and now VJ is coming out like he's crazy. What I'm saying is, you have the talent. The problem is they're all playing together. Like, they're all going, let's all 3. I think we need to fix that by, if you're going to expand it, then we need to do something where we need to fix the salary cap to go where you can't afford 3 guys anymore. You can't, it's not possible. And you make these dudes going back to the old school, which they don't have the heart to, and go beat these fools. Your salary cap does not say you can get LeBron, D-Wade. I don't care if you take less money. It's not possible. You cannot fill out your roster because you don't have the revenue. If they went back to that, now imagine the league going, okay, these 3 dudes who are on the West, now you got to separate and go make your own team. Now you don't get that chance. You don't get to go, let's put Dame together with – no, let's not do that. you know who the number one are on their team. There's no reason why some of these teams have 3 number 1s, dog. Like, come on, like even 2 number 1s absurd. Back in the both era of basketball, you had a number 1 and you had to build around that dude, and that was it. Kobe had some of the most egregious rosters ever, and if you were that dude, you took your team to where you went to go. So I would love to see the league, if you're going to add these 2 teams, number one, that's you got to stop the whole well, let's tank to get better crap, because that's all they're going to do. You're just going to put a bunch of. Remember when Charlotte first came out? They put a bunch of. Wait, who was it that was joking on Gil's Arena? I don't like talking about. He was like, you just sent a bunch of weak niggas to a team. It was like, y'all gonna be good down there. Figure it out.
Well, I think it was Nick Young probably talking about the Wizards.
If we stop that crap, bro, and go, you guys can't have 3 number 1s on the team. You can't have 2 number 1s on the team. If you separate the talent effectively, you're not gonna have this problem. Like, look at the Knicks. We're not being disrespectful. They're not our number 1s, but you legitimately have Cat. You have Jalen Brunson and you have Mikal on one team. At some point, they all were on a different team where they were number 1 options, and now you put them all together, and they're not even succeeding anyway. So go make these fools beat each other and stop letting them team up and go, I'll take 20 million less just to be your sidekick. If that's what you're going to do, then you don't need to be in the NBA because you're not a dog. Kill that.
I totally agree with that. That's the best solution right there. Not that they'll ever do it like you said, but that would be the best solution, and that would. The NBA used to be somewhat like that, like a Jordan's beginning of Jordan's career, Kobe after Shaq, like you said. But you know, the NBA also got their weird shit that they've always done though, because they be cheating.
Yeah.
Like when Magic and Kareem got on the same team, you know, that was all orchestrated. And then, you know, Patrick Ewing had the frozen joint that they grabbed. They knew the Knicks had the number 1 pick, so they grabbed the frozen tile or whatever. So I'm just saying they just finagle it to still put 2 guys together or whatever the fuck they're gonna do. But I agree with you, because the league is gonna have to make changes eventually, because the shit is not. It's not going upward as far as entertainment value and watchability is concerned. So they're gonna have to do different things. And that would be the best thing, is change up the salary caps. But you know, they got the players union also, so the players is not going to agree to do that. And this niggas is not enough. It's not enough dogs in the league that'll agree to that. You know what I'm saying? Like Wemby would want to do that. Ant-Man, I could see him doing that. But outside of them, like in Kawhi and them, because the Kawhi been already showed he did it already. He's the blueprint. SGA's doing it. You know, he's doing it as the main guy. Yeah. So I would love to see that. That was a great solution.
With the salary cap thing, last point, here's why I think it'll fly. You ready? We're not changing the amount of money they could make. We're spreading out the way the team can spend it. We're not saying you can't make, no one's losing their TV money. What we're saying is you can't pay Jaylen Brown $300 million and pay Jason Tatum $300 million. If you're going to make your $300 million, but that $300 million is going to be equivalent like they do. If you make your first team all that kind of crap. If you can't pay 2 superstars $700 million, that's going to fix that. We're not telling Jaylen Brown you can't get your 300. What we're saying is your team's salary cap and their money revenue dictates you guys can pay $500 million. We're not knocking your money. If Jaylen wants his $330 million, that's cool. Well, then we have these teams with the 330, take your trade, or you can stay here, but you both can't be number 1 options because you can't both make first team all NBA, so your money's not coming. We're not taking their money. It's just the way you're going to have to get it by how you play. That's all I'm saying. You're going to get paid, but you can't 100 million, 300 million for 3 players. That's absurd, bro. Remember when the Thunder signed their players? We were like, bro, where the fuck are you getting this money from? Oh, we'll go over the luxury cap, 390 million every year. That's messing up the balance of the league. That's what the Warriors did. We'll keep them together and we'll go on a luxury tax, 400 million. Kill the 400 million luxury tax and go, that's not an option for you. It's 100 million, so make your decisions. And they'll be forced to choose between that number 1 player, and that's what it is.
And just like with Giannis now, like imagine if Giannis, if he's asking to leave and they would be like, you can leave, but you got to go to another team and go a straight up 1-for-1 deal. and you don't get to team up with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever superstar team you're going to, that superstar got to go to the other thing. That's all they have to do is do that. You know, just like they
You
cancel
feel me,
the
bro?
Chris Paul trade, they can cancel all of this shit and stop doing this team up shit. You know.
Exactly. Going, well, your contract's 400 million, his contract's 300 million. You guys can't play together because it's out of the cap.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And that'll stop a lot of that crap going, I'm gonna go play with Steph. No, you're not. Steph makes 330. You make 360. We can't make that deal. It's either player for player or y'all better go find somewhere else to go.
Yeah, it's like Phil Jackson and Pat Riley in their primes as coaches. They would not want to. I'm not. Neither of them is gonna be the assistant to the other guy. It's like, bro, I'm getting my team. You got your team, and we're gonna meet in the finals.
Factual.
But yeah, and the players they don't got that type of heart though. You know. But I would love.
And you heard this shit first on goddamn Eyeball Network, nigga.
Oh God, the only place you gonna hear it.
We got solutions over here, man.
All right, let's do this. Who you got winning the championship this year? OKC is gonna be the team to beat, bro. So it's just about who gonna step up and beat them. If they get eliminated, it's anybody's championship. That's how I look at it. Spurs got a good chance, but they would have to play them in the second round. Like, and you know, Spurs just the Thunder know what it takes already, and the Spurs don't. So you know,
and it's a lot of young legs that's getting their first playoff burn this year because every team virtually has a couple of people on their roster that's been solid in the regular season but don't know what it's like, because like we got the Reed Shepherds and the Amen Thompsons, you know what I'm saying? It's like every solid team got those young guys who you got the veteran leadership who's been there before, and then you got the young guys who was like this might be their first or second rodeo. So this is like you said, until somebody knock OKC off their square, it's damn near clear cut. And then if OKC get knocked off, then it's any given Sunday at that point.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's why I don't see why the Lakers can't be a contender. Because if you look at the league, like just imagine from like if Kobe was in the league right now and he looking at the top and being like, damn, it's only 2 good teams, 3 good teams. Like it's just the sky's the limit. And you got Luka and LeBron and Austin Reeves on the same team. Yeah, man. You're definitely a contender, man. So I think OKC is gonna win it again, probably, bro. If barring, you know, with no injuries happening, they're gonna win it again. But if they go against the Spurs and the Nuggets, they have those 2 teams can match up against them decently. But I'm going with the Thunder, man.
7-game series is hard to pick against the Thunder, to be honest with you. That's just what it is.
Yeah, they play the best in the defense, and they got the most consistent offensive player when it matters, and most clutch player. Mm-hmm. That's one thing SGA's been doing better than Luka this year too, is closing the games. Yeah. So, all right, so we pretty much agree on that. Y'all think the Clippers gonna make it out the first round? Or are they done? Well, no, they're going against OKC or Spurs, so they done.
They was done before the season started. You know how I feel.
Yeah, that Kawhi stuff. He had a great year though, but
man, he had a great year. James Harden pulling that card was lame, bro.
Yeah, it was.
I get it, man. I didn't expect Harden to get it done. I expect Kawhi to get injured, but man, they found their stride, bro. They were on fire. And I was like, bro, if you run them in the first round, I don't know about the finals, but first round, they're going to wipe you out. You run into them, bro. They was going to wipe whoever they got in the first round out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like Houston. I don't like what I see from Houston this year. I feel like they'll be a little better than they are.
Mm-hmm.
Clippers, they're going to be gone first round. Timberwolves don't have a great team. So, And the Nuggets are having a weird ass year. They've been trash
Yes.
half the year.
Mhm.
And then they play good for a little bit and they play trash for some more time. So yeah, and then the whole East is fucking tanking. Like this is the weirdest year of basketball ever, bro.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I'm ready for the playoffs though, man. But yeah, we'll leave it there, man. We'll get to some more topics on the next show, man. We appreciate y'all watching, man. Make sure y'all please hit that subscribe button for us, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button and hit the notification bell, man, because we will be dropping content frequently. And we're going live soon too, man. So if any of y'all want to tap in with us, just hit us in the comments and say you want to get on the show. And we'll be letting some people come on and give their opinions on stuff too. So any last thoughts, my guys?
March Madness. I think we're down to the Sweet 16. So, I mean, saw a couple decent women's games today. So tune in to March Madness. Cause that's pretty much all we got until the playoffs start. So shit about to get crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. Salute to the subscribers, man. Appreciate y'all. We out of here, man. Salute.